Are you having trouble installing your VIPAIR windshield on your ATV? I know when I opened up the box and I saw these instructions, it wasn't going to be easy. The pictures, even the text that they put on here, it doesn't really explain anything, and you have to kind of take your time, figure it out on your own, and decide what you're going to do. I thought this video will probably help a lot of people, so let's take a look at it, and I'm going to break it down to you exactly what I did, and hopefully this will solve any issues when people find this video. So you're probably thinking, how's he going to show us how to install this windshield if it's already installed? Well, it's not going to be hard at all. It's not a hard installation once you know where everything goes. And sometimes I made a few mistakes and I had to go back and change where I installed things, what nuts and bolts I used. But I'll show you, I'll break it down, and you'll realize after watching this video that you can do this too, and it won't be that hard. So you're going to see some notes that I made here and the instruction sheet. That's because I don't want to miss a thing. I'm going to follow this to a T. So what I did is I installed this VIPAIR windshield on this Cforce 500. It's a 2021. And I bought the one with the mirrors. They have these wing nuts here. There's two here. There's two on the right side. You can take this off and you can remove this whole fairing and windshield. And I'm going to do that to show you exactly how to install this whole windshield and the windshield base on your ATV. All right, so I have all the wing nuts loose. All I have to do is completely take them off, and don't lose your parts. Now this video might take a while. I'm going to try and condense it, but I think it's good that you watch the whole thing because I think you're going to pick up a lot of tips from this installation. So, because people don't have the attention span to watch lengthy videos, but I thought, you know what? This is the kind of video that you need to have to properly explain everything. It has to be a certain length. It's just the way it is. And if people want to click off, they click off, whatever. So I took the wing nuts off. Now we can remove this whole base. And I haven't done this yet. So like I'll go back and say, there's two wing nuts on each side, right and left side, so that when you loosen them, you can take this whole thing off. So on the right side here, you can't see, but there is, your brake cable is kind of in the way of this bracket here. So just be careful. You can work it out. So after a little bit of wiggling, I think I just about got it out. Okay. So there we go. We removed the whole base. Now we can get down to the good stuff. I can show you how to install everything. All right, so the very first step says install the U-clamps on the handlebars, and then you have a couple pictures to kind of see the way they go. But I was thinking, well, do I put them up high? Do I put them up low? It doesn't really matter at this point, because one thing I've learned a long time ago is when you're installing something or you're putting something together, like even a barbecue, you don't tighten everything all up as you go. You leave everything sort of loose so that you have wiggle room so that you can adjust things, because you never know what the next part going on is going to be and where it has to go, and you may have to loosen everything, and it's just a waste of time. So between looking at other videos, which were not very helpful on YouTube, and these pictures, I figured out where everything goes and how to do it. First step, install your U-clamps on your handlebars. So you have two U-clamps. You have 4 bolts. You have 4 of these cone-shaped washers, and you have 4 locking nuts. I believe they're locking nuts. If not, anyway, you'll know what size which size nuts go with which size bolts anyway, regardless. They give you a list of all the hardware that you have. So you're going to put your U-clamps in this position, and you're going to run the bolts through the outside with your cone washers here, and then you're going to put your nuts on, and you're going to snug them up a little bit. Like, not snug them up, you're going to just put them on loosely so that you can move these clamps around so that when you go to put your base on, you know exactly where it goes. Now I'm going to bring the camera in and show you up close. So there you go. U-clamp, the large side out on the outside here, and then you got your cone washers on this side, not this side, they go on this side. Bolts go in from the outside towards inwards, and your nuts. So if you were looking at it from this way, sitting on the seat, that's what you're looking at. Now these bolts are probably not in there. I can't remember if I put those in or they came in there like that. Actually, I'm starting to think that they were there already, so that's fine. Okay, step number 2, it says to install these lower supports right here to your windshield base. I didn't do that because it didn't make sense to me. So what I did was I installed these lower supports last. You don't need them on right away. So if you put them on last, it works just fine. Okay, the next step, install the windscreen on the windshield base by using the 6 dome head screws, 6 rubber washers, and 6 cone nuts. Okay, now is the good time to do that. So what they're talking about is these black screws, which are pretty big, dome screws, and these kind of nuts here. They got these dome nuts here. I think that's what they call them, dome nuts. Not donut, dome nuts. So yeah, go ahead, and they got the rubber washer that's in behind these dome head screws right here. You want to put that on there so you don't crack your windshield. And don't over crank these either. Just snug them up, but not too tight. So at this point, you can go ahead and put your windshield onto the base. Okay, step 4 says you can install your mirrors by using drilled holes on the deflector base. So if you ordered mirrors with your base, these mirrors here, you can go ahead and install those now. They'll be loose. You'll have like a rubber gasket that fits in under each mirror. So you just put that rubber gasket there, put your mirror on top, run your screw through here, run the nut underneath, and snug them up. And here's another screw here on this side. You could just lift this rubber up and get that done. That's fairly straightforward. And you can do both sides. Okay, our next step is we're going to install this bracket here. This one right here. Now remember, I didn't put these lower supports onto the last, so don't worry about these. You're just going to see this bracket here. You're going to put these brackets, instead of putting them on the base, what I did was I put them on here to these U-clamps. See how these brackets have slots? They have these long slots here on each side. Well, those go over here, over the bolt heads here, and the lower slots will go under here. So you're going to line it up. You're going to line it up on these U-clamps on each side, and they can only go one way because they have to line up with your base. If you get it wrong, reverse them, that's all. And you're going to put them on, fasten it on there with these wing nuts, like that, but loosely. Don't tighten everything up. These are going to be loose too, these U-clamps, while you're doing it, right? So now that you have, you can imagine your brackets are on here, you're going to grab your base and your windshield, you're going to carry it over, and you're going to, hopefully you can have someone helping you, but if you don't, I didn't have anybody. I kind of held it and I lined everything up the way I thought it was. You got to imagine these U-bolts are going to be sliding down to here on you. So you're going to line it up in place, and then you're going to install these bolts here. These ones I showed you a minute ago with the Allen head bolts and the nuts. And you're going to attach your base to this bracket right here and right here. And at this point, your base and your windshield will be here on your, all in place on your brackets, and everything is going to be just kind of loosely in position. At this point, what you want to do is you want to hook up those lower brackets right here. You're going to line them up, and you're going to use the bolts and the nuts provided to put it into place. They will attach here at the bottom of this bracket and over here at the side of the base here. Now you'll have your base and your windshield all in place. Everything's going to be installed where it needs to be, but everything's going to be loose. So this is going to be your last step. You're going to take that base and you're going to line it up where exactly you want it and level. And what I did was I did it about this high above this bar here. All depends on what machine you have, what kind of carrier rack you have, where you want it. Now you got to imagine there's going to be a lot of wind coming here, and this is the job of the base. So you're going to want to eliminate as much wind flow through here, airflow through here. So I got it about this high above this bar here on this carrier on the Cforce 500. Yours may be different. What you wanted is when you're turning your handlebars and you're steering, you don't want that base, the bottom of the base, rubbing on anything here. So, well, especially here. So then that's where I come up with this amount of distance here. Tighten up these U-clamps. So I'll snug up all these bolts and nuts here, and I'll make sure that it's really level and everything will be just fine. And then that's it. So now that I've fastened the 4 wing nuts The base is on, the windshield's on exactly where I want it, and everything be ready. I hope this video helped you. I know it can be frustrating for some people, and I just thought, why not do a video that shows people how to do it? And hopefully it'll make their day easier. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.